We're back in New York this week. I am super excited to be here. This is home for me. I love Dumbo. And I had a lot of fun shooting the John video last week. I really like John. It's been an absolute pleasure to have him with us and to be working with him. He's incredible. Thank you so much for everybody who sent amazing comments about the video last week. I really appreciate it. This is something that's extremely new for me, and I'm giving this a shot. I have a ton of content planned and some amazing guests lined up to come on this little channel of mine. So definitely do consider subscribing if you want to see more of this, and let me know who else you want to see. I live in New York, so folks in New York, I'm happy to jump in and catch up with you. So let me know, comment below and subscribe. Okay. So we're here to talk about semantic understanding today, and it's something that is a branch in artificial intelligence that I believe is doing extremely well for itself given how much technology has evolved in the last couple of years and the sheer amount of opportunity that it creates right now. A lot of what's happening today with machine learning and deep learning has to do with how the internet is evolving with these new techniques in perspective. And semantic understanding is just like one of those fields in artificial intelligence that I personally am really excited about. A lot of what I do at work is actually channeled and leverages this craft and science and art of semantic understanding. So let's talk about that. The internet we all experience today is a massive database. So when you're using Spotify, you're querying audio files. When you're using Netflix or YouTube, you're querying video files. When you're using a document collaboration server like a Box or a Dropbox, you're essentially querying document files. When Tim Berners-Lee originally envisioned the internet, he envisioned a document sharing system. So you have these little blue links that take you to any part within a document or to other parts of the internet. Over the years, the internet evolved with this principle in mind of a document sharing system. But later on in his career, Tim envisioned a different kind of an internet. He called this the semantic web. Now, we've all heard that computers store information in zeros and ones, right? So when you throw a file on your desktop, what's essentially happening is the computer or the operating system of your computer is receiving that file, it's encoding that file in binary and storing it on the hard disk. Obviously, computers have become smart and they can do amazing things, but the way that we store information on our computers and on the web is still disassociated with the context of that information in real world. And this disassociation of information from the real world is what makes computers so dumb today. Think about the way you store information on your computer. You have folders like documents and music and movies, and those folders have subfolders within them, which essentially store files within them. Now, the problem with this is the internet isn't organized with folders and subfolders. It's organized with context, with real human beings having interactions with other human beings in situations. And that association about relationships in the real world as to how I'm connected to somebody else and how that individual is connected to somebody else that I might know is something that a computer essentially misses. Take the example of Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, David Letterman, and Netflix. What the computer here sees is random strings that it encodes and stores. In the semantic world, we're not only storing these random strings, but also storing the relationship between these strings and telling the computer what kinds of strings these are. So the example would become Barack Obama, who is a person, is the 44th president of the United States, is married to Michelle Obama, the first lady, and the both of them have 2 kids. Obama recently did a show with David Letterman on Netflix, and both Barack Obama and Michelle Obama have signed an exclusive deal with Netflix to do a series. By teaching a computer to store these relationships and contexts linguistically between different concepts, things, and people, what we're essentially doing is we're allowing the computer to store information in a way that's actually associated with the real world information and the real world context. And this is exactly where semantic understanding comes in. Semantic understanding is the ability of a machine to process the meaning and context behind real world information. The emphasis here is on the word process, because while computer scientists have architected systems like neural networks modeled on the human brain and nervous system, we're really far from actually replicating the profoundness of the brain. So what we're essentially doing is we're evolving how information is stored on the internet that frankly isn't very representative of how information is connected in the real world. Now, think about how to apply this to a real company. Companies are complex entities, and companies have people, processes, ways of working, assets, and customers that are all interconnected in some shape or form. So what we're essentially doing is we're leveraging techniques like this to make how information is stored within a company a whole lot more meaningful, that allows you to create quicker decisions about work. So when you hear things about a data-centric company or companies that are evolving through artificial intelligence, this is exactly what's happening behind the scenes, where companies like Google and Microsoft that essentially have so much information and so much data about so many different things over the years, they're beginning to connect this information in radically unique and simple ways that allows them to make quicker decisions about work. So that's it. This was this week's video. Shooting outside is brand new to me. So if the audio is messed up, I do apologize. And I'll see you next week. In the meantime, hit subscribe and that'll keep me going, I guess. Thank you.